Jordan. I really like the way your caricature's coming along here. I still think the background is really dominating the caricature. So I would probably go again with something simpler, or you can work with some ways to diminish this. Also, in terms of the scale, this is way too small. Your caricature is super cool, so it's just way too small. So I'm going to put, and what's this? And even that's a lot easier to read than having that that mask behind it. So yeah, it's really about having really legible text. So what I would do is let me move your text on the top. If I can here. Oh, it's not going to work because that image is underneath it, but I'm going to turn that image off if I can. I'm going to put all of these in a folder because then I can move them all. So I'm going to put them all here, and then I'm going to click here, and now we have them all in a folder. So what I would do is I would probably just use a different orientation. I would probably put this here or like this, and then I would just crop it down, and I would put the text up in this negative space. So if you had it something like this, and then you crop this whole side off to get, now this is more like the, the requirements. That's probably how I would approach it, because this is the main highlight, not the background. And that's why the background also is just way too strong. I'm just wondering, there's ways to diminish it. You could, yeah, let's see here. Let me turn your text off for a second here. You can darken these. You could put like there's so many different ways that you could do it. You could use a levels adjustment, and then you can make it, I'm looking to make the caricature stand out. So that's kind of one of the main things. So I'm just playing with these levels here. You can't see it, huh? Because I'm off here. So I'm playing with those sliders, but still, it's just too strong. And so if you did something like this and you had your caricature, you'll work out the background. Also, a really hard horizon line is a little bit disruptive. So what I would do, and I would still make this a little bigger, just because it's, and you think of also the client wants it bigger. The client's pretty much the class, but you know what I'm saying. But then you have a lot of room up here. You could put you have some great negative space for the text. You could also do it this way and put the text over here. You could do it this way. You could put them up here, and then you could put the text down here someplace. But again, you won't be able to read text over this image. But I would just resolve the just this complicated background. That's kind of the main thing. Another thing you could do too with the background would be to add a little bit of a blur to it. There's so many different things you can do in Photoshop that, but I would really start with, using something that was just less complicated. You can't really even see the shadow because there's so much going on. You could also try, try something like a layer blend. So you could create a new layer, and you could add a color to it. I don't know. I'm just going to add any color to it, and then fill it, and then you could then you can mess with some of these blends. There's some pretty cool ones that are kind of fun. I always forget what they are. Oh, not that one, obviously. No, these are all not working really. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, there's a lot of different, where's that really cool one? Anyway, there's just so many different things you can do, but I would really suggest a simpler background and not such a saturated color in the background either. That's another thing that works to take emphasis off the caricature. So you can go in this adjustment too and just make it less saturated. That'll help too. Oh yeah, so just one more thing before you're really sick of hearing my voice. I'm going to go back up and turn. I'm going to go back into the history and go back to where we started. Anyway, so this looks great in here. Really looks super. I still would suggest still tinkering with some of these. It's just getting a little bit overkill, but if you go in and you just play with some so there's not so many. I mean, it actually looks pretty cool, but I think it might look a little bit, I don't know, if you just turn some of them off and just see what it looks like so you can see some of the background through them. Anyway, I would just suggest still playing with these, and you can even still rotate them and stuff. But overall, it looks really good. The only thing, like I say, that's really the point deduction is the background, and also the text just needs more work. And again, I think I showed you before, you know, some of these examples of just putting the text on different layers, and then you can even use different fonts to, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I already showed you. I thought I had it opened right here, but I guess I don't. You know, I always kind of use this one because it's kind of one of the cooler ones. But again, two different fonts, a couple different texts. Then you can start using some layer styles and stuff like that. Okay, so anyway, great progress. I'm looking forward to seeing your next revisions. Okay, so yeah, I really appreciate all the work you put into this. It looks really, it's looking really cool. Okay.